Hey, greetings, everyone. Glenn Kellaway from the basement. It is Thursday morning. Having a great day. Hope everyone else is having a great day as well. Back with a video. This time I am going to rank my top 5 rock singers of all time. What makes a good rock singer? Obviously the voice, but the whole look's got to be cool. You got to be able to rip a song. You got to be able to sing a ballad. You got to be able to do the whole thing, man. And there's 5 I picked that I think are outstanding. You're probably not going to agree with my ranking, but it's my ranking. So, but I would love to see yours. Number 5, I am going with Jim Morrison. I mean, at one time this guy looked so cool. Jim Morrison posters were everywhere. I mean, this guy, he just oozed rock star. And what a voice, man. I'm telling you, he comes out with Light My Fire. I mean, that's pretty much everybody's introduction to the Doors. And then on that song, The End, Mother, I Want to. I mean, he could just, break on through, Backdoor Man, the LA Woman. Every song on here is freaking fantastic. Jim Morrison, absolutely. I mean, songs like what about Riders on the Storm, the song LA Woman, Crawling King Snake. Wow. Like I said, Break On Through and Backdoor Man is freaking awesome. I mean, he just had some great vocal performances. Jim Morrison. Number 4, I am going with Robert Plant from Led Zeppelin. Man, I mean, come on. You hear Led Zeppelin 1 for the first time and hear this man's voice when he comes in within the days of my youth. Come on. I mean, the guy just was incredible. And again, he had the look, he had the hair, the open shirt, and just incredible. How many more times? What about the vocal performance on Stairway to Heaven? I know everybody's sick of the song, but what a great performance that is. He could rip it up too, like a lot of the songs on Physical Graffiti, In My Time of Dying, and just Robert Plant. Number 4 on my list, Since I've Been Loving You, is probably my favorite Robert Plant performance. Now, solo career for Robert, it's kind of hit and miss. I don't know, did he ever make a solo album that was like like you could say this is the classic Robert Plant solo album? Did he ever make a solo album that every song was great? There was he had some amazing songs mixed in with some filler or weaker tracks on pretty much every album. My favorite solo Robert Plant album is, I think, his latest one that he did on his own was Carry Fire, and it's been out 3 years now, probably, maybe longer. But I really like this album. This would be my choice of his best album. The song Carry Fire is freaking awesome. So, Robert Plant, Zeppelin 2. I mean, come on. Wow, Whole Lot of Love. You Need Fooling. Come on. Oh, man. Guy just nailed it. He was awesome. Jim Morrison, number 5. Robert Plant, number 4. Number 3 on my list, John Lennon. Twist and Shout. Come on, the guy went into the studio at the end of a day of recording and ripped this vocal at the end. That's just incredible. Has that ever been matched as a vocal performance on a studio recording? I mean, John could sing these songs. How about on the White Album? I mean, we got Your Blues. Oh man, and then he can do a beautiful soft song like Julia, and oh man, look how the old rockers he used to cover, like Bad Little Boy and Dizzy Miss Lizzie, and oh man, just he could rip it up. John had an incredible voice. I mean, really, he could be, this top 3 for me could be number 1. I love them all so much, but John Lennon, wow. Even Cold Turkey, and man, then just the beautiful side of him within my life, and Imagine, and he had the look. Come on, when I was 11 years old and the Beatles came on Ed Sullivan and they showed John Lennon, I had immediate crush on the man. Just, it was immediate. His look, I don't know what it is about it, but just He's just the coolest dude, man. One of my all-time heroes. Okay, number 2. I think I'm going to get crap for these last 2 picks, but they are my favorites. Especially in a live performance. The greatest band I ever saw live was the Rolling Stones back in 1972. Mick Jagger was freaking amazing live in those days. I think people are tainted now because they've seen the Stones perform recently, and Mick just kind of walks back and forth. I mean, the guy's in his 80s. Even he was doing that in the probably in the 90s and 2000s. He's been doing this walk back and forth, singing into the mic for 30 years now, and I think it's kind of tainted what it was like to watch the Stones back in the 60s and 70s when Mick had the moves. He was frickin' awesome live. I just couldn't take my eyes off the man. Incredible. And what a vocalist. I mean, come on. The man could sing anything. Anything. We've got, I wanted to show something here, and I've lost it. Oh, well, what can I say? I was going to show the Rolling Stones now, just early stuff. I mean, his voice in the early songs were great. Satisfaction and Last Time. And then songs like Lady Jane. And then to go and do like Brown Sugar and Moonlight Mile and Sister Morphine and Can't You Hear Me Knockin'. Oh, man, there it is. This is my favorite early Stones album, Rolling Stones Now. I mean, Everybody Needs Somebody to Love. Heart of Stone is on here. You Can't Catch Me. Mona, What a Shame, Off the Hook. I mean, wow, vocally just amazing. And live, like I said, Mick was awesome. Just listen to Midnight Rambler or Jumpin' Jack Flash or Sympathy for the Devil. Man, guy could rip it up. And then my favorite Stones album, Exile on Main Street. Jagger steals this frickin' album as far as I'm concerned. His vocals on every frickin' song, like starts off with Rocks Off and Sweet Virginia and what's the second track on this album? Oh, why is it killing me? Rip This Joint. Oh man, does that song rock? And one of my favorite Stones songs of all time, Tumblin' Dice. Oh, man, this is a perfect example of how good Jagger is. Okay, my number 1. People are going to not like this. I know they're not, but I think he was the greatest rock singer of all time. And unfortunately, he jumped the shark after a while. Became a pretty boy, pop guy, and then eventually did the American Songbook, and just like, what happened to this man? But Rod Stewart, I mean, come on. Rod Stewart, first time I'm aware of Rod Stewart, Jeff Beck Truth album, 1968. I actually saw these guys in a small club in Toronto. Rod Stewart, Jeff Beck, and Ron Wood were there. It was a small little place called the Electric Circus in Toronto. Wow. I mean, incredible. This is an incredible album, and Rod's vocals on this are absolutely amazing. Come on, You Shook Me and Ain't Superstitious. Rod could just rip it up back then. He had the chops, man. No doubt about it in my frickin' mind. I think I'm going to sneeze. Oh, God almighty, you're so good looking. Okay, then Rod joins the Faces. Come on, those Faces albums. I'm going to sneeze. God, Jesus, that was good. Stay With Me. Oh, man, come on. The Faces. Fantastic. I saw the Faces live like every time they came to Toronto at Maple Leaf Gardens. They were great. They were like a really loose and raw and frickin' high energy. Great band, The Faces. Rod was just incredible back then. And then he releases his own studio albums, which are frickin' awesome too. Gasoline Alley, what a great song. And Maggie May, is that one of the greatest songs ever? And then he does Reason to Believe. Rod can play the ballads, sing the ballads, but the song Every Picture Tells a Story. I mean, I'm Losing You off here, the great Motown cover. Rod was the best. I saw Rod live too with his own band a few times until Do You Think I'm Sexy comes out, and then he comes out with Tonight's the Night, and just like, I'm done. Sorry, Rod. And then he does that American Songbook thing, and it's like, oh my God, this guy's making me puke. I can't do it anymore. But back in the day, from 1968 to 1973, 74, there was nobody better than Rod Stewart. He was my number one. And that's it. That's my ranking. Jim Morrison, number 5. Robert Plant, number 4. John Lennon, number 3. Mick Jagger, number 2. Rod Stewart, number 1. Let me know what yours are. And thanks. Have a great day. Give me some thumbs if you could. I'd appreciate it. Have a great day.